Oh, oh my God. My heart's beating so hard and fast. Why? Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I'm trying to do Ralph smart. Ralph is so smart. Anyway, so I'm Domina Della Pie, Mistress Ashes Storm, and I'm kind of anxious, kind of like even nervous, and I'm trying to like push it away because that's silly, right? This is what I do. So the reason is because of the subject matter. It's a little sensitive. It doesn't have to be, and I'm going to make sure that it's not. But it was set up to be on one of my groups. It's a Dominica cooking group. Ah, boy. Somebody shared a post today. Now, this is a group that is mostly, I would say 98% of the posts are actual images, pictures, videos of people presenting their plates, what they've prepared. And I've been enjoying that group because it brings me home. It reminds me, and I could taste it. I know exactly what those meals on those plates on that screen taste like. Somebody who is not from my island or even from the Caribbean, they won't understand what it means to look at our food. Like, listen, look at the Japanese. They present their food in quotes artistically, and they put it in a showcase, a little showcase outside of their establishment. So outside the restaurant, there'll be a little glass case and you could see plates of what they will be serving you. But they are all, I don't know what they're made out of. It's not edible, okay? It's just for show. And if you don't really know food, you're going to think, wow, that looks good. I want to eat that. And y'all are eating a lot. That's why you're all eating plastic. You've been eating plastic for so long and you don't even care. You become plastic, right? Which is why this post showed up today. But I want to caution you black people. When you see such posts pop up on social media, please don't just react. Don't immediately react as a defense mechanism. Don't be fighting back. Just find the humor in it and make light of it. But don't let it upset you, because what the post basically said was Jamaicans are it said word for word, Jamaicans are the beat cooks. And then it said Dominicans can't cook. Dominicans food look like shit. Dominicans don't have pretty plates. They don't present their food to look appetizing. It looks like shit. These are the sentiments expressed. So them is fighting words. But I've been around the block long enough to know what's going on. This is nothing to do. This is not a Jamaican. Okay, hey, maybe it is, right? But I don't believe it was a Jamaican, right? I don't believe it was a Jamaican person. I believe it's I believe it's not even a black person. How about that? I believe it's the very app we're on trying to instigate shit like they do. They have us all fighting each other, fighting amongst ourselves and fighting. I mean, once we're busy fighting each other, Jamaicans against the Dominicans hate the Jamaicans, and yeah, so they make it happen. They put that idea into our minds. How many of us are in that group? It's a large group. And imagine how many people were reading that. There's so many people who were responding. Some of my responses, I want to read them here. Because they were funny. I wasn't trying to be funny, but sometimes I am. So I said, because it said Jamaicans are the beet cooks. It didn't say best. I don't know if it was a deliberate spelling mistake or it was a typo, but it wasn't correct. It wasn't corrected. It said Jamaicans are the beet cooks and Dominicans blah blah blah. So big up the Jamaican and put down the Dominican. See, be careful in the world. This is the tone, the flavor. This is how they've taught you. They've always given you only to look where we come from. Our little island has so many different species. We got so much food. We got how many different varieties of mango alone? Just mango. We got so many varieties of that. Right? Well, all they know are the few that they know. They probably have atuafo, which that we'll be feeding it to pigs. We wouldn't be eating that. But it's sold here $2 each, depending on where you're buying from. The same avocados here at $2 each for the Mexico little ugly bumpy ones, and then ours are like $2.50. They're bigger, smoother. Well, you could see ours looking nice, right? But the way they're doing it nowadays, the avocado has absolutely no taste, no flavor, none. Even after squeezing lime and sprinkling salt, no taste. It's so disappointing. But there's something to be said about things that look nice, but aren't nice. Things that look good, but are not good. Things that look bad, or what you consider to be bad. Like, here's an example of foods that could be considered doesn't look pretty. Curry. Curries can look like shit or puke. But you want to tell me curry not finger licking good? I love curries. I love food that is aromatic. I love food that is well seasoned. I love lots of liberal use of herbs and spices, but in the correct amount that it's not overwhelmingly, see the white people, they discovered, they did no such thing, but they finally found out about hot peppers. They even named them Scotch bonnet. Do you believe those peppers they called Scotch bonnets were growing in Scotland? Edinburgh? No, I don't believe so. Because they couldn't handle it. But they've built up tolerance over the years by what they've done. They've gone and played around. They like to play around. And now they're making these peppers. They're growing these peppers that are so hot. These people, because pepper is enhancing our flavors of our already flavorful food. Pepper stimulates my appetite, causes me to eat more. As I tend to be anemic, it helps. I have to eat. I love to eat. And I want to eat. I add pepper to my food, as well as all the other seasonings. If I had to eat like a white person, the white people before they discovered seasoning, I wouldn't eat. I would starve to death. Okay? So they were trying to insult us by saying how bad our food is and how bad it looks. This is somebody who's obviously never eaten Dominican cooking, Dominican food. And just before I get into some of the answers I had for them, I want to say that we have fruit that don't look very nice, but they are a lot nicer than your apples, pears, peaches, and plums. All of which, when you have a good apple, a good pear, a good peach, a good plum, nectarine in North America, it's really good. But this is rare to find them very good. When I first came to Canada in the 70s, the plums, the peaches, the apple, everything tasted so good. And you could smell it. It smelled so nice. Now there's no smell, no scent, no aroma, and there's no taste. Our tropical foods, when they reach here, first of all, they pick them before ripening. So they rot before they ripen. So they pick, no, they pick them before they mature. They're picking our food before they mature. And then they put them in refrigerated storage, ship them, deliver them. By the time they get to us, anyway, it's garbage. It's pig food. It's compost. But we pay a lot for it. Okay. Now I was talking about our fruit. Let's take the soursop. Let's take the jackfruit. Those, if you look at them, you would say, wow, that's ugly, right? It's ugly, it's bumpy. You get inside, you have the best taste. This is, oh my God. It's like dessert, right? It's like ice cream without having to go through all the toil and without the dairy. It's just right off the tree. We are blessed with abundance of these tasty, tasty morsels of food. So we know food, and we know that food has to taste good as well. We don't just take a piece of meat and just from the thing when it comes from the freezer, just from the market, supermarket, the processing, it's nasty. You don't even wash the meat. You don't even season it. You just throw it on the grill. And then you rub some sauce on it. You call that your barbecue. No, honey. We will marinate the hell out of that meat. Marinate it. So that when it's cooked, you eat it. You don't need any freaking sauce on it. But y'all like to cover up your flaws with sauces and pretty presentations. I don't give a shit. That don't work with me. Because I care about when I'm having food, I'm eating. I care about the flavor. Most important to me is the freshness, that it's fresh. The flavor is important. The least important to me is the presentation. I don't care. I don't care how it looks. Although, for people who don't know, they need to see pretty plates to be enticed into eating things they probably would not have eaten. However, my food doesn't need to look pretty. It's just damn good. So, my food is much like Dominican, other Dominicans cooking, right? We cook a lot of things we put together like a pilau. It's rice with either chicken or seafood, shrimp, lobster, crab, whatever, with some carrots, peas chopped small, right? And lots of herbs, spices, onions, things like that stewed in, you know. Just tasty, tasty, tasty. So, yeah, we care about how does it taste. You cannot be a Dominican and not cook properly. Many people from wherever they come from, they cooking, it's not good. It's not good food. Just because it's from this place don't mean it's good. Don't mean that the person preparing it is good at it. See, food is important to us. So we make it a habit of preparing it so that it's just the best. So who cares what you say? And like I said, I don't believe it was a Jamaican trying to instigate fight between us. I believe it's a white person, probably from this same platform, social media platform that I am speaking about, where the group is. I believe they're the ones who have their bots. They have their race bots. Listen, they are armed. They are armed to the teeth. They're doing all kinds of things against us. And you must think outside the box. That's the only way I think is outside the freaking box. Because I've seen the box. That's where they put you. And they give you, hey, you have a choice of two. Take the black or the white. Take the red or the blue. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? I have a spectrum of color. I have so much light. Right? Some of them are dim. Some of them are bright. But I got the light. In fact, I am the everlasting light of the eternal flame. So let me say what Mama said, I'm going to tell them Jamaicans. I said, let me teach Jamaicans how to properly cook fish. Rule number 1. Never overcook fish. Never overcook. Fish must not be hard and dry. I can't remember the last time I had fish from a Jamaican that wasn't hard and dry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rule number 2. Dumplings. Yes. Dominicans call it dombwe. Dumplings, listen, dumplings are made worldwide. Every place have their version of dumplings. Some are better than others. Okay, I happen to love gnocchi, the Italian dumpling. I only like it made with the potatoes. That pasta you want, I don't care for that. Now, I've had the dumplings that the Polish people make. I've had so many plates of bad pierogies, and I've had 2 plates of exceptional pierogies. So many people make pierogies. They sell them in the store. It's just in the freezer. You can go into Little Poland and buy it from the Polish people. It's honestly, it's really not that good. Mostly not good. Unless if you get a little old Polish mama, like a granny, or my friend's mom, make the best. My friend's mothers made the best gnocchi. The Italian and the Croatian made the best gnocchi. The Italian had the best gnocchi until the Croatian beat her to it. Imagine. And the Italians taught the Croatian, and the Croatian made better gnocchi than the little Italian lady who made good gnocchi, but it wasn't as well done as the. You see, so food. Like I pick things up in food. It's important to me. I make it my business, which is why I say dumplings. Rule number 2: dumplings must never be so hard and tough that they appear weaponized. Like you can kill a person if you ever threw a Jamaican dumpling and hit them in the head. Is that not true? I said rule number 2. Dumplings must never be so hard and tough that they appear weaponized. Like you can kill a person if you threw a Jamaican dumpling and hit them in the head. Seriously, you have weapons of mass murder in your cooking. And somebody is trying to compare what you're making to what we're making. They're trying to compare Jamaican to what we're making? No. Rule number 3. I beg. I'm stealing this from the Nigerians. I beg. Please use real fresh onion instead of the abomination you call gasp onion powder. I have yet to meet a Jamaican in the kitchen who is using real onion and not onion powder. Now, there are a few other things I have to say. We had a tenant once. Actually, the tenant was from Uganda, a young woman, black woman, of course. And when she went to work, her boyfriend, who moved in with her, he was Jamaican, he would cook. And it's nice, right? Because she go to work and he cooks. Because he would go out to find work as a laborer on construction sites. And he wasn't always getting work. So he'd come back very early and he'd cook. And that guy, that was some nasty shit. Those smells coming through. We had the basement, he was on the first floor. And I had the 2 floors above him. And it would hit me, and it don't matter. The 2 floors, I could be on either floor, the 3rd or the 4th, and I could smell it like it was in my kitchen. And it was so foul. It was so nasty. I don't know what the guy would be cooking that would smell that bad, but it was. I would have to open the windows and stick my head outside. Big middle of winter, I'm sticking my head out the window because otherwise I would throw up. I've had to run outside of the house, which meant running down and going past their door because he's cooking again. Now, this guy would drink and smoke his weed, and I don't know if that kind of, I don't know, he just didn't seem to smell that or seem to think that the smell was anything wrong with it, but it was gross. Now, about Jamaican cooks. Lord, them is fighting words. Jamaican cooks, let me tell you about what I've observed. Jamaicans have a habit, very bad habit. They destroy appliances. They destroy, I would say, the stove. They destroy the stove. And because my brother, he run through them Jamaican pum-pums. Like, seriously, he just run through Jamaican pum-pum. Next. Big girl, big booty, big fat, next. Fat pum pum next. Fat pum pum next. Fat pum pum next. So they come to here, He tried bringing, they were coming here and they were cooking here. They were acting like his wife, right? I had to put a stop to this shit. We had to get a new stove, damn it. Why? Them girls, Kellyanne. They put on a big pot. They fill it up with water. They put it on high. It's boiling over. You keep telling them, hey, don't you lower that? It's boiling over. It's falling. It's spilling on the element. It's spilling on the stove. It's burning because it's a liquid and there's some grease in it. And if every time you're cooking and this is your technique, this is how you're doing it, I'm going to say you're banned from the kitchen. I've banned people from the kitchen before. And I'm banning some of you Jamaican cooks. I ban you from the kitchen. If any of you are of the habit of boiling food, soup, you're cooking your dashing, your yam, your fig, your green banana, your plantain, whatever you're boiling. First of all, I tend to steam more than boil. You all have the thing boiling and it boils for so long. You don't need to boil that long. And you don't put a lid on it. I like to just put the lid over it and let it steam, But you all have no cover. Because if you put a cover, well, shit, it'd be even worse, right? So you have it open and it's this big pot just boiling, and you're gone. You got to smoke your spliff, whatever you're doing, and you're Jamaican music. Hey, you have a pot on the stove boiling over. Oh, that's how you do it all the time. Well, don't come back. Listen, I have to tell the brother, please. Well, I say some words. And the girls, all them women, and they are big grown women. They had to stop. They had to stop coming and trying to cook here. Because they call me the kitchen Nazi. Not that I'm a bad person at all. But I maintain some level of, some standard is kept in the kitchen, especially of all places. You raise the bar in the kitchen. Right? Now, I want to talk about you Jamaicans again with you sir, don't you dare ever serve me prawns. Prawns you don't clean. Prawn have all this shell on it. Shell is not so bad, But it have the boyo, they call it boyo, the guts. It have the head, the eyes, everything looking at you, the little, looking like a bug. Look like cockroach. Yeah. And you take that, you get a big bag of that shit. And you leave it in the freezer for years. Why you leave it in the freezer for years till that one day? Big celebration. And you bring out your bag of prawns. But it's so frozen. And then you proceed to thaw it, cook it. Blood of mercy. I'm sure you rinsed it. I know you washed it, right? But me can't eat that. All the guts and shit in it, like Filipinos. Filipinos are eating fish like sardines. Fresh. They're fresh. They're prepared. My mom had a Filipino friend. And they would take turns going to each other's homes. Like all the women who work together at the hospital, they would go to different homes to have lunch. Who is making lunch today? My mom had a lot of friends and different ethnicities. And she said, when she went to the Filipino, that was a very good friend of hers. But that woman cooked the sardines, just whole, everything, scales, guts, head, what is that thing in it? The gills. That is so, I would throw up. Okay. I'm just saying. And they're Filipinos. So anyway, Dominicans are very particular about, more than anything, the taste of our food. We have authentic Dominican recipes. Oh yeah, another thing that's important. When you cook fish, right? Because we are tropical, we are island people. Although you say you're a country and I'm just a small island. I mean, I like that small island, girl. That's okay, honey. That's okay. You're a big country. Now let me teach you, big country people, from the little tiny dot on a map of a small island, Dominica, not the Dominican Republic, because they think they're great too. All of you are great. We're so small, right? But let me tell you, when you're cooking such a thing as smoked herring, how are you gonna cook smoked herring without first soaking it? It's salted, it's smoked, it's oily. You wanna, it's too much, you know? You wanna boil it like the salted cod. You do the same thing with the salt cod. Y'all don't boil this salt and shit out of it. And I don't boil all the salt out. You just boil it enough that because that's too salty. But there you go, just chop it up, and fry it up, cook it up with all that salt in it. I couldn't eat that. I could not eat that. And I think your cakes suck. I think your baked goods suck. Yes, Jamaicans, yeah. Let the Dominicans teach you about baked goods that taste good as well as looking good. The Dominicans, the St. Lucians, and the Trinidadians, they got that covered, okay? If you want to talk about good food, I'm going to tell you where to not only find it, but you can learn. Now, I love your ackee and saltfish. Unfortunately, not every Jamaican knows how to cook it. So just like with Chinese food, I'm not trust the Chinese to cook food for me, so I make my own Chinese food. And as for the ackee and saltfish, that costs too much money to buy from a restaurant. The amount you're getting for what you're paying. And it depends on the place. Some places may not have as good as other places, right? So I don't want to take my chances. I make it myself. Ackee and saltfish. Now as for oxtail, no, it's oxtail. Now, yeah, you do good oxtail, but so do we. We do oxtail too. So people think oxtail is Jamaican. We all do similarly, right? Seriously though, all the rest of the island people, they need to learn to season their food from the Dominicans, and I mean Dominica, nature island of the Caribbean. So we have to keep the peace because many Jamaican men are going for Dominican women, and there are Dominican men going for Jamaican. Big girls, trailer load. So we, cross paths. There is a large Jamaican community in Toronto, and the Dominican community is growing as well. And they are meeting and mating. So now in the family we have 2 half Jamaican babies. Right? We got little Jamaican, Jamaican kids. Actually, they are Canadian, Jamaican, Dominican children. They're born in Canada to parents from Jamaica and Dominica. So we got to get along. We don't need to be fighting. We cook differently, the same food, right? And somebody's trying to get us to fight each other and say that Jamaicans are the beat cooks. So yeah, Jamaican like to fight and will try and want to beat me up. But whether you beat me up with your fist, your gun, your knife, or your voodoo, just know that I'm with the Most High, the everlasting light of the eternal flame. I am with the Most High always. I don't fraternize with these other spirits unless if God tells me to, because I don't know which spirits I'd be entertaining. So I say no spirit, no middleman. I go straight to God. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, or not. It's all good. Dominadella, Pie, Mistress, Sasha, Storm.